Hello, bonjour. I had forgotten that my camera was open there. Happy to be with you today. I get Mathieu, and today, Ola, we're going to talk about a yummy, yummy subject. Cacao, chocolate. And first, I'm going to show you that recipe. We'll see it together online so you can have a look at what it is, and so simple to do. So let's start with that. Well, as you know, I'm Agathe Mathieu. I'm a living raw chef. Been eating this way for 19 years. I'm healthy like beyond belief. I have energy like there is no tomorrow. So it's the best way to eat. Absolutely. All right, so let's just do that. I'll share my screen and I'll show you my recipe. There we go. It's right here, and I will put this one down. So where we are, full screen. Let's start. Whoops. One thing I forgot is the sound. Okay, so here we are. Let's start again. Not there though. Here.
Really? So should we start? Look at this beautiful, beautiful cake. Let's start. So we use our food processor, and the food processor from Breville is awesome because here you have a 16 cup, but inside you have a 4 cups. So that you can then make a big batch of whatever, but then a small batch too when you want to make dessert that is so decadent. You cannot make 16 cups of that. Well, as well, maybe if you have 40 people coming. So let's start. We're going to put our scale to 0, and we add 50 grams of the shredded coconut. I have 56. I'm going to reach inside and get a little bit out. There you go. 52 is good. And then we have 37 grams of pitted dates. So 87. 86, that's awesome. And we have 13 grams of cacao. That brings us to, 87, 13. Yeah, will bring us to 100, of course. And there we are. There. Just gonna, there. Powder is gonna get off the top. We'll mix to break the dates. And to that, like the dates are now, I'll show you. Yeah, see the dates are all broken up. So now we're going to add a little bit of water so it can stick together. See what we've got. That's beautiful. I added 1 tablespoon of water. And we use our spring form. It's important that when you assemble your spring form, the lip, instead of being up, is down, because it's easier to take the cake out. It's a cake that we press down, so the lip would be in the way of taking it out, so that way you can slide the cake off, kind of thing. And then let's take that crust out. So I added some water just so that it would bind together, be a little wet, but not too wet. There. And Breville also has that wonderful little tool that came with the unit. It's awesome. I'm just going to stop this from flashing. See? You can press it down. It's just marvelous. It's so easy. And the next step is the filling. It's as simple as that. Like I said, 2 steps. Super easy. So we put our blender jar on. To that, we add 168. I'm just going to grab my spatula here. 168 of date syrup, which is simply the same. Date syrup is the same weight of water and date that you mix. 150. Oh yeah, little over. There you go, 70 is good. 170. And then to that, we add coconut oil, and we need 60 grams, brings us to 228. 228. I'm over a little, that's fine. And cashews, 468. Yes.
How many grams of cashews?
Cashews, sorry, cashews are 240 grams, which brings us to 468. Thanks, Dominique. That would be a big cake. And then we need to add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Oops, I was a little shy on my tablespoon. And 1 tablespoon of water. And then we add a pinch of vanilla powder. If you don't have the powder, don't put the extract. It's really not good. A pinch of salt. And I put the lid on and blend. Hey, let's see. Oh yeah, nice and creamy. And now the very last step, we add the cacao powder. Very important to use raw cacao powder. The roasted one, it's so bitter, it's so hard to make it taste good. You have to add so much sugar, but then you only taste sweet, you only taste sugar. 48 grams. 44, 48. Yeah.
Do you want to mix it first?
Not this one. So Dominique was pointing out to me that we did recipes before and we used a smaller jar, which I don't have one around now, but and I had to use a chopstick to start it going with the cacao powder and the cashew mixture. This one is a larger base. I don't have to do that. So that's why I can go ahead. There we are. Oh, look at this. Like, look beautiful. It's so yummy. Just want to fall into it. Swim in the chocolate mousse. And it simply goes in. I'm telling you, this is the easiest thing ever. Now, you've seen us working with different flavors as well, with other recipes like lucuma and mesquite. And so you can do the same. You can do a whole cake, lucuma, it's quite lovely, or mesquite, or acai. It's just so good. And I'm telling you, you don't tell whoever comes and that it's a raw cake, they'll think it's a cheesecake. It's really the cheesecake texture. There we are, a little trick with our chopstick as we did so far, so lovingly. And there, as easy as that. Enjoy.
There you go. So that was easy, wasn't it? Now, okay, I have to escape from here. I stopped the sharing. I'm coming back. There we go. One day technology, I'm gonna have this like, you know, so easy to do. It's coming. Okay, so that's how easy it is to make that cake. And that cake, all it has in it, it's all good for you. All of it. I'm not kidding you. Every single ingredient is. So let's start. I will tell you a bit more about all of them. And then I think that today, you know, like I say, sometimes people say, I cannot do this. Like I cannot eat this way. I think you can eat that cake, right? So let's talk about, I did make the distinction between the raw cacao and the cocoa powder. So cacao and cocoa. Cacao is raw. Cocoa is roasted night and day. It's roasted. It's so bitter that and you know, you need so much sugar to cover it up. You need the raw powder. Believe me, don't try with the cocoa. You'll regret it. It won't work. It won't work. Okay. So yeah, so the difference between raw and roasted beans is the roasting. So raw cacao beans are get fermented, dried, packaged. That's it. Whereas the roasted, they undergo the same process, fermented, dry, but then they roast them. And then when you roast at high temperature, you guess it, you lose nutrients. As simple as that, right? So the information I have here is from Real Raw Food. Why did I choose to take it from Real Raw Food? They are my suppliers. I know of them for 19 years. The product is absolutely fantastic, and I know I can trust them. So always remember that your suppliers, the brand that you buy, makes a difference in the end result. I always buy cacao powder from Real Raw Food, no other supplier. It's the cacao powder they have, and I believe it's Creole, and that's what I use. That's what works for me. That's what works in my recipe. I do not change that. And I know the family, Tom and Max, and you know, and the whole gang there. They are totally committed to the absolute best products. So that's why I went on their website and I took the information from there, which I will share with you now. So the cacao, it turns out to be the most nutritious food due to its wide array of unique properties, many of which are destroyed or corrupted in cooking. So raw cacao, again, very important. And okay, so I'm just going to skip a few things because I'm looking at the time. I don't have that much time now. Raw cacao is the #1 dietary source of magnesium. One reason why many women crave it around the time of menstruation or their mood time. It's also exceptionally high in sulphur, the beauty mineral. It is rich in antioxidant. It is a natural antidepressant and aphrodisiac. And in fact, it contains over 300 identifiable chemical compounds, making it one of the most complex food known to man. So not only does it taste divine, it makes you feel like a goddess too. We like that. So cacao is the seed of a fruit of the Amazonian tree that was brought to Central America. Cacao beans were so revered by the Mayans and Aztec that they used them as money. For example, one fish was worth 3 cacao beans, and one avocado was worth 1 cacao bean. Imagine that. Oh, and I'm going to show you a picture here. The cacao tree is named Theobroma cacao tree. Literally, it means cacao, the food of God. So let me I will show you, whoopsies, so I can go here, share my screen again. It's here. There you go. See? That's what it is. This is a pod like this. It grows on a tree like a fruit. So it's a fruit. And look at the size. You can see the hand of the man here. And in each fruit, there could be up to 35 seeds. I was searching for that, and I saw that actually Amazon sells the seed. If you want to try to grow a cacao tree in your backyard, you have to have the right condition, of course. Here you have what it looks like dried. And here you have what it looks like fresh, so not being dried, unroasted, they call it. And Criollo, like I was just telling you, that variety is right here. So it says dark Criollo will be this one here. Oh no, Criollo is white actually. So with the end here. There we are. So that's what it looks like. And when you buy cacao nibs, they are broken bits and pieces when they took it out of the pod and out of that kind of viscous white thing. And that's what the nibs are. And that's why they're less expensive, because they've been broken up pieces. So which in raw food, it might happen less because it's more of a manual process than a mechanical process. Make sure it's done properly. So the nutritional profile of cacao beans, it contains no sugar. and is between 12 and 50% fat, depending on the variety and growth condition. There are no evidence that implicate cacao bean consumption with obesity. And you'll see why below. I have some explanation why below. So, and then worry about allergies. Actually, the allergies to chocolate are quite rare. It's typically the case that person is in fact allergic to what goes into a chocolate bar. So if it's not a raw chocolate bar, or even if it is a raw chocolate bar, it could be what goes in making the bar. And so like, you know, the milk, the dairy product, the chemicals sometimes mixed to the production, and the heat treated process that also goes along with making those bars. So something to consider. Raw is different. Ooh, that bird is very, that's the other singing song. Cacao beans also contains the following important nutrients. Magnesium, I think I mentioned that at the top, which is the relaxer mineral. So that will explain to why you feel a certain way when you eat cacao with what I'm telling you here. And so the relaxer mineral, it's in cacao. Fight acid buildup, neutralize toxins, calms sensitivity to pain, builds strong bone and teeth, and is essential for many other functions. So there you go. And apparently 80% of Americans are chronically deficient in magnesium. That I've heard before, yes. Cacao beans contains about 20% of the US RDA iron. 1 ounce, 28 grams, contains 20% of the recommended daily. Wow, that's quite high, isn't it? And iron is part of the oxygen-carrying protein called hemoglobin that keeps our blood healthy. So the more, of course, oxygen you have in your blood, then your cells are healthy. You know, red blood cells are healthy. Makes sense, right? And chromium is a trace mineral that helps balance blood sugar. That's also in chocolate. Look at that. So a significant role in detoxifying the liver from alcohols with build-up during the fermentation process of sugar. So the sugar, it cause problem. Raw cacao help with trace mineral that helps balance that blood sugar. There you go. Caffeine and theobromine. So now you'll learn the difference between the two. So there's a persistent urban legend that chocolate contains caffeine. It doesn't. It would seem that this rumor is based primarily on a confusion between two similar alkaloids, caffeine and theobromine. Theobromine is the active ingredient in chocolate, and it occurs only in cacao, not the caffeine. Some cacao, like chocolate bar, add caffeine to it, but the cacao itself does not have that. It has a theobromine. So it's a similar structure, but different chemicals with different property, effects, and origin. So that's not the same. It doesn't have caffeine. It has theobromine. And cacao seems to diminish appetite, probably due to its monoamine. So what is that? Monoamine. It's oxidase enzyme inhibitors. They are different from digestive enzyme inhibitors found in most nuts and seeds. These rare MAO, so the monoamine oxidase enzyme inhibitor, actually produce favorable, sorry, there are certain words in English that I favorable results when consumed by allowing more serotonin and other neurotransmitter to circulate in the brain, according to Dr. Gabriel Cousins. There you go. So, and he says it facilitates youth regeneration and rejuvenation. We like that. And so it encourages weight loss naturally, according to the Dr. Gabriel Cousins. The phenethylamine is found in abundance in cacao beans. So because BPA as an abbreviation is heat sensitive. Aha. So you know when they say how good dark chocolate is, think again. If it's been cooked, it's not the same. So yes, it has PEA, but if it's exposed to being cooked, it loses it. PEA, so conventional cooked and processed chocolate is missing. So it's not there in the conventional cooked chocolate. It's there in the raw chocolate. PEA is then, and I say raw chocolate. So when we make raw chocolate, we don't expose to eat. As you saw when I made my cake, that's what I mean by having a raw chocolate bar, a raw chocolate cake, just like you saw when you saw that video of my chocolate cake. PEA is the adrenal-related chemical that we produce in our bodies and when we fall in love. I love it. This is likely one of the main reasons why love and chocolate have such a deep connection. And PEA also plays a role in increasing focus and alertness. So if you want to be awake, eat a few chocolate beans. And yes, you can eat the beans. I do that, like the beans, without sweetener or anything, just the bean. They're sweet, actually, nothing like the raw cacao or the cocoa. So flavonoids in chocolate help the body to produce nitric acid, the compound essential for proper heart function. See, that's in the raw cacao as well. And what else? It's just amazing. Another one here, arginine is the aphrodisiac-like amino acids believed by bodybuilders to build muscle and aid in recovery. So it's in raw cacao powder too. The anandamide, the bliss chemical. That's why we love chocolate so much, right? It's a neurotransmitter called anandamide, has been isolated in cacao. So the anandamide is also produced naturally in the brain. So our brain produces it, and it's in cacao. And so the bliss chemical, because it releases while we are feeling great. So that's what it's called, the bliss chemical, that anandamide. Cacao contains enzyme inhibitors that decrease our body's ability to break down. So what happens with that is we retain longer that feeling, that bliss feeling when we eat raw cacao. There we go, raw chocolate. Vitamin C. Cacao beans must be raw to contain vitamin C. All cooked and processed chocolate has no vitamin C. So you see, you lose. When you eat the cooked, you lose. Omega-3 fatty acid. Cacao beans contain essential omega-3 fatty acid when it is raw. Again, same thing. Tryptophan is an essential amino acid that is transformed into important stress protective neurotransmitter, including serotonin, melatonin, you know of those, of course, and is heat sensitive and therefore cooked out in many high protein food and is conventional processed chocolate. It just keeps on going, right? It has all the wonderful, amazing, nutritional benefit, but if you cook it, you lose it. Or if you eat a cocoa instead of cacao, you lose it. Serotonin is the primary transmitter in the human body. It's similar to its chemistry to tryptophan and melatonin. Serotonin helps builds up our stress defense shield. It's there. Have some of those cacao beans in your pocket. Eat some during the day. Cacao beans usually contain about 1% of theobromine. So we talked about that earlier. So theobromine is not like caffeine. Theobromine is an effective antibacterial substance and kills Streptococcus mutant, the primary organism that causes cavity. Oh, that I didn't know. Look at that. I'm just reading that. I didn't read completely before sending all that to you. Wow. Theobromine is a chemical relative of caffeine, but is not a nervous system stimulant. So there you go. Theobromine dilates the cardiovascular system, making the heart's job easier. Eat those cacao beans. Antioxidant. So cacao contains the highest concentration of antioxidant of any food in the world, if it's raw. These antioxidants include polyphenols, catechin, and epicatechin. By weight, cacao beans have more antioxidant than red wine, blueberries, acai, pomegranates, and goji berries combined. Plus, it doesn't have the side effect of the red wine, which is acidic, right? We have to remember that. Antioxidants keep you looking young and help fight disease. Antioxidant laboratory analysis confirms that there are over 25,200 antioxidants in a single spoonful of raw cacao powder. So you see that cake? It's just like superfood. Dark chocolate has been touted as a source of antioxidant, but this raw chocolate is way beyond that, living proof that raw is better. And Italian researcher found that eating 100 grams of dark chocolate each day for 15 days lowered blood pressure. The University of L'Aquila team also found the body as ability to metabolize sugar, a problem for people with diabetes, was improved because the effect was believed to be due to the antioxidant level. With raw cacao powder, we can likely multiply this effect. So, you know, for who is diabetic, raw cacao cake. Oh my gosh, there's other things I'm going to have to talk to about that another time. So I'm just going to finish about the cacao because, of course, there is benefit as well with the cashew and the coconut oil and the desiccated coconut. And when I say desiccated coconut, I mean it's the coconut meat that has been dried up, not something else with apples juice added to it. They do that to shredded coconut. It's desiccated coconut. Make sure you buy that. Anyway, let's just finish with the cacao powder. It's already 11:25. Dark chocolate contains 4 times the amount of catechin, antioxidants, than black tea, which is suspected of having a protective effect against heart disease, possibly cancer, due to its antioxidant property. And raw cacao powder is 28 times more than black tea and potentially 7 times the protection. So raw cacao again has more, as you can see, as I said, and if you don't cook out all those amazing benefits, then you have more, right? It makes sense. Manganese helps assist iron in the oxygenation of the blood and formation of hemoglobin. Interestingly, manganese is also concentrated in tears. Zinc plays a critical role in the immune system, like liver, pancreas, and skin. Additionally, zinc is involved in thousands of enzymatic reactions throughout the human body. It's quite a list, isn't it? So much in raw cacao powder. And as you saw me, right? I mean, making that cake, yes, I had all my ingredients in my mise en place. All my ingredients were ready, but it took me 8 minutes, 7 minutes to make it. So, okay, so it's your first time, you get, all the ingredients, you do your mise en place, make it 20 minutes, make it half an hour if you want. Then you're done. You put your cake in the freezer to set faster, or put it in your fridge, and then you put a water, a drop of salt in a blender. It's going to clean your blender. It's like, so simple to make, so easy to make. No cooking, no cooking pan to clean, no oven to clean. And it's absolutely delicious and healthy. So imagine, really, you've got it all here. Okay, let's go back to sharing my screen because I want to show you as well. Yes, you heard my recipe here, but you know what? That recipe also, you can have it on my website here. So when you go to my website, which is Healing Vegan Cuisine, right? You saw that there. Okay, so that's what it looks like. That yummy burger there at the top. And then here you have this book that is with raw food recipes in there and lots of information. But here, this is all my courses. Here you have that cake that is offered for free. So you can have the video and watch it all you want, the recipe that is nicely designed, and you can have it and look at it. And then, yeah, you can make that cake so easily. You can send me questions here. Here you have also everything, my Facebook, Instagram, email, all those things, YouTube. So you can go and have a look there. And as I said, I mean, look, this is what it is to eat raw food. Now you'll tell me, come on, look how delicious that looks. Is that cake again, wraps and bowls and pasta made with zucchini, kale chips, of course. And then we have another dessert, nori rolls. I make a flat bread. Everything is, again, that raw chocolate in here, that another beautiful cake. Everything is good for you. So that's what it is all the ingredients I use in my recipes are level, well, not all of them. The oil is level 2, but all the other ingredients are level 1. Level 1 is basically from farm to your plate, from the garden to your plate. And that's when you have the most nutrients, and that's when it's the most beneficial for you. It's just an awesome way to eat. And as you can see, yes, I have lots of energy, always do, always have. Wake up in the morning with no aches and pains, even though I had arthritis. I did. Look at my hands. I had arthritis. I mean, and it's gone. It never came back. So it was 2003, first week of the swelling. I could close my hands like this, right? And then 3 months, aches and pains, all gone in my hands, in my hip, in my ankle. It goes up to the joints, right? So this is what I wanted to talk to you about. And remember, a man or woman who doesn't have their health has only one dream. A man or woman who has their health has 1,000 dreams. So go for it. Go for your health. And what best way to go for it? By eating that delicious cake, which everybody's going to love. Absolutely. You have a fabulous week, and we'll see you again next week. Let's share the screen.